everybody, the Culinary Shut-In here with the second part of sugar cookies, which is the Royal Icing. And this recipe is a recipe I genuinely love, and it's very easy to work with. I've used this recipe for several years, and it's easy to use and doesn't have any bubbles in it. So let's get started. First of all, we're going to need the bowl of a KitchenAid mixer and a lemon. Yep, a lemon is required to prepare the bowl of the KitchenAid mixer for the icing. So we're going to squeeze a little bit of lemon juice into the bowl of the mixture. If there's a seed, remove it. And then just take a paper towel and you're going to rub all of the inside of the mixer with the lemon, and that's going to get your bowl prepared. Now, this is live at-home video blogging, and it's shut-in time, and I got a little water on my shirt, and it's going to have to stay there. So, all kidding aside, I'm going to use 4 cups of powdered sugar. Does not need to be sifted. We're going to use some meringue powder. I like Chef Master. To that, we're going to add 1/4 cup of water. You don't need much water. You will be adding some later. And then you need 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And I like to use the semi-clear vanilla because it's basically colorless, and that's so much better if you are going to have white as one of the colors in your icing. But you can use regular vanilla if that's all you have. So we're going to kit up our mixer, and we are going to stir this on slow speed the entire time that we're mixing this icing. And this icing has to be mixed for 12 minutes on a slow speed. So here we are at about 6 minutes with the icing. I like to stop halfway and scrape down the sides of the mixer because the icing tends to creep up the sides of the mixer. So you really do need to scrape it down so you get it evenly mixed. So just turn off your mixer and use a very firm scraper to move the icing back down to the bottom of the bowl. You can scrape it back onto the actual mixing blade, but very important to do that halfway through. So once you've got the icing pushed down into your bowl, you're going to turn the mixer back on for another 6 minutes, and you're going to do that until the icing is finished. And it's going to look like this, and I've added a little water to this so that I can do the 10-second rule, which is to drag a blade of a knife through your icing, and when you count to 10, 1001, 1002, that gash should close up, and that's how you know your icing has a good flow. It's ready to use. Now, mine is not quite at 10, and that's because once you add the coloring, you have to adjust it again. So I'm going to have 4 colors. I like to use these craft colors because you have to use very little of them to color your icing, the very highly saturated colors. And we're going to use pink, yellow, and blue, which I'm having a difficult time opening. But you just need a dollop of icing. And then we're also going to have white. And all of these icings will have to be mixed and, once again, adjusted for that 10-second rule. But I want to show you something here, and that is how saturated these gel icings, these gel colorings make your icing. You want to mix this up really well. You don't want any white left in your bowl, or you'll get streaks when you're decorating your cookie. But I'm using teal for my blue, and you can see that I hardly used any coloring, and you get this beautiful color. So you can use any kind of food coloring you want. Now here we go. Our icing is thickened up, so we're going to have to get it ready for the 10-second rule again. And to do that, I take one of my icing applicator bottles, and I put clear water in it in the smallest tip that you have. And this is a way that you can add water very carefully, because you don't want your icing to be too runny. So you just keep adding in a little bit of water and mixing it together, and you might have to do that a couple times. I use a butter knife to try out the 10-second rule. So, you're going to count to 10 1001, 1002, all the way up to 10. This particular application of water wasn't quite enough, so I'm going to have to do it 1 or 2 more times to get that perfect flow state. So I have that now. I'll just show you. We're going to do the test. We're going to count 10 seconds. And at the end of 10 seconds, the icing has come together, and you know that it will now flow nicely onto the cookie. I like, for applying icing to cookies, I like to use bottle applicators. I, have tried pastry bags, but I don't have the same control that I have with the bottle applicator, so it's my preferred way of icing cookies. And we go back and forth, but my daughter, who's an amazing decorator, and my daughter-in-law as well, both always prefer to go back to these bottle applicators. So we're going to load up 4 applicators with our 4 colors, and then we can begin decorating. And that really is the fun part of baking cookies. So there's the blue, and we're going to get all of these jarred up so that we can decorate. So here we go. We have a little Easter egg here, and you can see that there's that beautiful edge, and we are going to decorate this cookie. You don't want to go all the way to the edge. You want to stay about a 1/4 inch in from the edge, and so you're going to outline the entire cookie, and then you're going to fill it in with the icing so that you can smooth it out. So once you have the icing on the cookie, you can take it off, and this is such a sturdy cookie that you actually can just tap it firmly on the counter until the flow of the icing has spread across the cookie, and you see you have a really nicely decorated cookie. And one fun thing about decorating cookies is involving the kids. I like to prepare little bowls with paintbrushes for my grandsons. Here's my grandson Cole decorating some cookies. Hey, Cole. Hey. Once you have all your cookies decorated, it's very important that you let them dry on a drying rack for at least several hours. So that's all there is to it. These are cutout cookies with royal icing. I hope you enjoy them. I want to wish you and yours a very blessed and happy Easter. And stay safe, stay in, stay at home.